What was interesting is Ryan finishes third at Boston and signing autographs on the plane and big celeb all that week. And then the following weekend, you were down here in San Diego working with a charity. And basically, you were abducted as part of the charity, the PR that went along with that charity. Take us through what happened down here.
Yeah, it was really fun. We were just down here in downtown San Diego with a whole bunch of kids. And we were just abducting ourselves because all these child soldiers have been abducted in northern Uganda by Joseph Kony. And it's one of the longest ongoing wars in Africa right now. So it's a huge problem, and we're just trying to help raise awareness of it. There was events that were going on all over the world, all over the country. They got on Oprah. They got on, I think, Larry King Live, too. It's called Invisible Children. So if you want to check it out, you can check out their website, www.invisibleChildren.com. And so, yeah, we were just down there, like, hanging out with the kids, and we gave a little talk, and we were abducting ourselves. It was really fun. We were supposed to spend the night in this park. And so, like, we did our talk and everything, went and got some dinner. And then we're coming back into the park at, like, 1 o'clock in the morning. And we see everyone, like, running off the grass, like 1,000 kids, like, running out, like, carrying out their sleeping bags. We're like, what's going on? And then we just see this water spraying everywhere. And we're like, I thought someone was, like, spraying them with hoses, like they were trying to get them out of there, you know, like. And it turns out the sprinklers came on in the middle of the night when everyone's trying to sleep. So it kind of put a little bit of a damper on our night. So we ended up stumbling around all over trying to find a hostel to stay in. And we ended up, Josh Cox and I ended up staying with a buddy. But it was a really fun way to get involved with the charity and try to make a difference over there.
So they try to go to the hostel, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, you're not from out of state. You can't stay here. You know, it's like, but we live in Mammoth. It's really far away. They didn't care.
Yeah, no, we were like Joseph and Mary looking for a stable.
All right, the big question. Triathletes all shaved down. I was at the track meet up at the Home Depot a couple years ago, and I'm like, Alan Webb's running the 1,500. I'm going, dude, you're shaving down. You guys are shaving down now, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the trend right now.
Runners are shaving down.
Yeah.
It's on to the dark side.
It's not so much functional as I think just mental. Like, it feels good. I don't know.
So the part you didn't run in Boston was that first downhill, 6 miles, and that is a brutal downhill. Did that take you by surprise, how much that beat you up?
Yeah, you know, that first 6 miles was more downhill than I thought it was going to be, and yeah, it was definitely, you know, feeling my calves tightening up a lot earlier than I typically do. So, you know, when you're in 10 miles into a race and you start to feel your calves tightening up, it's always not a good sign. No,
that's not good. How loud was it when you went through Wellesley? Do you remember?
Wellesley was amazing. Like, I'd heard all the stories about how crazy Wellesley is, and it was so loud the whole way that I was like, Wellesley can't possibly get louder than it is. And then it was like, the decibels were off the charts, but I loved it. I just ran as close to them as I possibly could.
Yeah.
But that's actually when the race opened up. The guys like surged really hard at that point, and that's when kind of the real racing started. So I didn't really get to enjoy it because I was trying to manage the chaos, but it was quite an experience. Yeah.
When you look at the finish at Boston, it's like 3 of you guys within a minute, right? I mean, everybody was right there, so you were pretty close. We haven't had an American win that race in since 85 or
83, yeah.
83, Dick Beardsley. So it's been a long, long time.
Yeah.
And you were pretty darn close.
Yeah, I was close. I was really happy with it. You know, it's my first time getting on the podium in a major marathon, so I was definitely happy, especially because I had this guy sitting on me for the last, 7 miles, and I thought he was going to outkick me. I was like, man, this guy's just waiting, just buying his time. And that always feels bad, you know, when you're doing all the work and some guy gets you. So I opened, there's this little tiny incline with 600 meters to go, and I just got 2 feet on him, and I noticed him kind of fall back a little bit. And I just put my head down. I was just charging. I couldn't feel anything, not my forearms, not my quads. I was just totally numb. It was like an out-of-body experience. But so I was really happy to get third, whereas I think Kara was more disappointed to get third.
Right. And take us through the Olympic experience. I know it's a little different. You're running basically the last day of the games, and you really don't spend that much time in the Olympic Village because you're training somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I was so lucky to have my wife Sarah with me because we were just camped out in this little training camp out in Dalian, China, which is 2 hours away from Beijing. and it was just the 3 marathoners, and we had this like whole resort to ourselves, but it's like super secure. Like they would follow us on runs. Like we'd run down the hill, and the security guys would be like in their jeans with walkie-talkies, like running with us and stuff. It was intense. They would shut down the whole road like we were having a race to do tempo runs. The security there was just crazy. But so the TV was all in Chinese, so the only events I've seen are like whatever the Chinese guys were doing. So like
ping pong,
yeah, weightlifting, like that was like all I saw. It was a definitely different experience than I've had before watching the Olympics. So I feel like I got to kind of go back and watch it all again.
Yeah. And when you were a kid, and we've talked about this before, when you were a kid, when you'd get nervous before a basketball game or baseball game or a running event, your dad had a way to calm you down that didn't quite work in Beijing.
Yeah, my dad used to always tell me, he's like, there's 1 million people in China who have no idea what you're doing right now.
You're standing at the start of the Olympic marathon in Beijing. It's like, thanks, Dad. That doesn't do me a bit of good right now.
The funny thing is, though, I wasn't even that nervous, so I didn't even need it. So I could just kind of laugh about it, and it was no big deal.